I'm going to bring up a couple that's been incredible. You know, when I partnered with Dallin just a short 6-7 months back, a short while after that, this couple was introduced to the company. And we have such hardworking, dedicated brand partners. And I've said now a couple times, the thing I'm most proud of is the quality and the leadership that we've attracted. And this couple is just another example of that. They've worked tirelessly day in and day out. And I know it firsthand because when we started the company, I got everybody on WhatsApp groups. And I said, hey, I want to be accessible. Reach out to me anytime. Some people hold back on that. Ricky didn't. And I love it. Ricky reached out night and day. I got this, I got that. The spinning wheel of death. Ricky's the number one guy saying, oh man. This couple has just done such an incredible job. They've been in the industry a very short period of time. I'll let them tell you their story. But I want you guys to give a warm welcome to Diamond executives. We're going to roll a short video and bring them out. But Diamond executives, Francoise and Ricky Untermeyer.
Ricky and Francoise Untermeyer. These two individuals are the main reason that Natalie and myself have been successful in this company and in this adventure of Vasayo. They are our leaders and they lead each person that they come into contact with a servant's heart, a leader's heart, and they have compassion and love for every single person that they come into contact with. There is no way that we as a team of Vasayo will fail as we move forward. We are prepared for a big future. And the main reason that we are here and standing before you today is because of the leadership and the love and the compassion that Ricky and Francoise Untermeyer has shown Natalie and myself and every other single person that we have come into contact with since we began in this company.
Welcome to the stage, Ricky and Francoise Untermeyer.
My dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. Right about now.
Me.
Vasayo! Well, we want to start this off by thanking our Lord Savior Jesus Christ. He is the reason that my wife and I are standing on this stage. Our sole purpose is to make his name famous. And without him, our natural would never become super. And we also want to thank our family, which is our team, for believing in us. We love you. We also want to thank our amazing sponsors, Holly and Corbin Roush, because of their hearts. They've been amazing to work with. We love them. Last but not least, we want to thank Vasayo Corporate for all the hard work they've put into this event. It's totally inspired me. We want to thank Daniel and Dan for being amazing founders that we've grown to love. And also Dallin and Carrie Larson, last but not least. Thank you, Carrie, for giving Dallin a kick back to the industry. And you know, I wanted to put it in perspective. We wouldn't be on this stage if they didn't do a selfless act. They didn't have to do this. So I challenge everyone to go out and honor them and share this gift that we have that's totally transformed our lives. You know, my story, and when I started dreaming, was at a young age of 19. There's a lot of people in this crowd, I believe, that God's told me that they've given up on hope in their dream because of the current situation. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. 17, got kicked out of high school for skipping school too much. 18, I moved out of my dad's house. He was a pastor. I moved into this house. If you look at this house, you would never think I'd be on this stage 19 years from then. But just like a phone call in network marketing, someone knocked on my door, my first mentor, and he said, Ricky, I want you to paint my houses that I'm going to buy and flip, and I want to mentor you in your own business. I was scared to death, just like when you got that phone call in network marketing. But I wanted what Kevin had. He had time freedom, financial freedom. He was the biggest giver in my church. And if I ever wanted a change in my life, I was going to have to step out in faith, and God was going to bless my action. And I went through struggle. You know, you hear a lot of people on this stage talk about a blessing but they don't really talk about the struggle. It was hard work. I ended up having a successful construction company. And then I met this beautiful bride, the love of my life, at 27. She's my best friend, my business partner, and she's also the mother of my 2 beautiful children. God has blessed us with an amazing family, and I'm gonna let Francoise tell a little bit about her background.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for letting us speak into your lives. I couldn't imagine 22 months ago when we said yes to this profession that I'd be talking in front of 6,000 people. It's very humbling. Thank you, Dallin and Carrie. Well, a little bit about me. I'm from Tampa. I came from a family of 7. And my parents divorced when I was 9 years old. And it was very difficult. You know, my mom was from a third world country. And I think at the time she was making like $4 or $5 an hour. And so you can just imagine what our household looked like. But I was the oldest in the home, and so I was given the responsibility to cook, clean, take care of all the kids, and I had no life. I mean, I never did after-school activities. I really had to sacrifice at a young age. And I didn't really understand what sacrifice was, but now, as I've gotten older, I've realized that my why started when I was 9 years old. You know, I dreamed of having a different life for my children, and so it makes sense to me now, but it didn't back then. But I was a very driven young lady, and I didn't understand what drove me, but it was to have something better for my family. And so when I was 18, got out of high school, I doubled up on college credits. I did a 4-year degree in 2 years. I think I took about 24 college credits per semester. I didn't watch a movie, I didn't go out. I sacrificed. It really wasn't a sacrifice, though, it was an investment in my life. And by the time I was 21, I was a director of nursing of one of the largest CCRCs in the United States. And I don't think it was luck. I think it was when preparation met opportunity. I prepared for that. My whole life was a struggle that brought me to that moment. And I was very proud of my profession. And so from the age of 21 until I met my husband, started having children, I was excited about it. I was like, wow, I arrived at where I needed to be. But from a young age, I worked so hard to live a life different than my mother. When I started having children, I realized I was reliving her life. I was never home. My mother worked from 3 to 11 every night. I never saw her. It was like 2 ships that passed in the night. I never saw my mom at all. And so when I realized that I was getting up at 5 in the morning, I was coming home at 7:30, and I had about an hour with my children, that wasn't what I wanted. My family meant more to me. So I asked my husband to stay home. And it was a sacrifice. I made good money. It was a big discussion. But he's always supported me. That's one thing about my husband. I've rediscovered myself over and over again. He's always been that backbone for me and always let me spread my wings. And so thank you for that. Well, it was 2008, 2009. We have a construction company. And little did I know when I quit my profession, 3 months later, the economy crashed. We lost everything. We had $400 in the bank account. I can remember it was Christmas, and we were crying walking through Toys R Us, trying to figure out how we were going to make ends meet for our children. But we learned a few valuable lessons during that time. 1, to be better stewards of our money, because we didn't have a lot of savings. And 2, not to have all your eggs in one basket. That's all we had. I wasn't working. We just had his construction company. And so for 7 years, we looked for additional stream of income, something that fit into our life. We looked into a restaurant, actually got very close about 22 months ago to opening a restaurant, but the investment was really high to open a business. It's like $250,000 before you even open the doors, right? And the time that was going to take, a lot of hard work, 100 hours plus. I didn't want to be ripped out of my house with my children. And so I got introduced to network marketing by default, and I have to say it was the best decision of our life. You know, as a director of nursing, I got to impact people's life. That's what I went to school, to serve. I love serving people. I love people. My husband and I, we just love people, period. But that's why I went to school. And, you know, I would only be able to touch someone's lives for a moment in time, 1, 2, 3 days, they're discharged. Here, what I love about this business is that I'm making a living, making an impact, but such a big impact, not just on one person, but on a whole family. If I tell my friend about this business, and maybe she's working 2, 3 jobs, if I can help her make $200 extra a week, I see the fruit in not just her life, but her children's. If you give somebody $200 extra a month, you save them from bankruptcy. How many friends do you know that might could use $200 extra a week or $200 extra a month to change their lives? Whether you're taking financial stress off of them, marital stress, goodness, or maybe she's just quitting one job and she's home in the evenings with her children. They're not being brought up by an iPad. Or maybe they have more grocery money and they're able to make better food choices, and their daughter isn't struggling with body image disturbance at 13 because they don't know how to eat properly. We have everything you have everything here to be successful in so many ways and touch so many people's lives. And I think that when we started really understanding this industry is when we understand that there is a higher purpose for our life. And we talk about it so much, about your why, what drives you. This is a struggle. This business is hard. Not everybody sees your vision, but that's okay. I think they're living the old system. We're seeing something before people do, right? I mean, people get up every morning, they go to work, and they exchange hours for dollars, time for money all the time. Here it's so different. You're giving people financial freedom. And so, I just want to leave you with today is don't worry about what other people are saying and what other people are doing or what other people's businesses are doing. It's no different than a diet. You can have two people start the same diet at the same time. And one person, you're both following the same thing, but one person lose 5 pounds before you. Their body's responding differently, just like people's businesses. But if you stay on that same path, you'll get to the same destination. So, it's very interesting because, people get so caught up in the distractions. So don't let the distractions distract you. Make that decision for yourself, not for anyone else. The first day that I started in this industry in network marketing, I sat down with 4 people. They all said no. And my husband's really supportive, right? So he was sitting in the corner saying, "Oh, honey, you could quit. You could totally quit." And I was like, "No, I made that decision for me. I'm not going to let them tell me what I'm going to do. I made that decision." And if I would have quit because my 4 friends did not see my vision, we would have touched over 5,000 people's lives in the last 22 months. So how many lives, how many lives are you supposed to touch?
Yeah. So when my wife and I are preparing to speak, we always go to God to try to give us something that can impact lives, because that's really our purpose. And the first thing God gave me will probably change the rest of my life. He said, "Ricky, don't let fear stand in the way of your purpose." A lot of times fear stands in the gap from our destiny, our dreams. When we made the decision to do network marketing, it was scary to call someone. And then it was scary to do a conference call. And then it was scary to do a meeting. Now it's scary to stand in front of 6,000 people. There's a different, success is not an elevator, it's steps, right? So don't let fear stand in the way of your purpose. And then number 2, he wanted me to talk about you're going to have a dream and you're going to have a struggle. Just like this slide, it's not up there. I can't find a better illustration of your dreams than a Lego box. See, you have a beautiful picture of your dream in your mind when God gives it to you, but when you open the box, it's 3,000 pieces. And it takes a bunch of directions for you to put it together. You see, my life was in shambles at 19 years old. I was broke, didn't have a dollar. My wife grew up in a house. Her mom was making $4 to $5 an hour. But at 19, I started dreaming again. Did I dream I'd be in front of on a stage in front of 6,000 people? No. But I had a good picture of it in my mind, and I went through a lot of struggle. I went through hard work. This is called network marketing, not sit work marketing. You're not going to sit on the couch and be successful. My wife and I have been successful in network marketing from hard work, not from watching Bachelorette and eating Cheetos on the couch. I can promise you that. Dr. Eric and Natalie have been successful here from hard work. So has our team. And there's no better other story in the Bible that always impacts my life better than Joseph. God gave him a dream. The next day, he told his family, they threw him in a pit. Sounds like network marketing, right? You call your family, they tell you you're crazy. But see, and then he stayed pretty much in a prison for 13 years because he couldn't handle the dream that God gave him. But guess what he did? He stayed steadfast in the sight of that dream. So then he could handle it. And get this, he went into second command in Egypt. And the biggest part of that whole story, he saved his family from starving. So who in your life, if you chase your dreams, they're going to start chasing theirs. And you're going to save them from starving. It's not just about us standing on this stage. The Bible is nothing but a bunch of stories of struggle. Do you think God was trying to tell us something? He's trying to tell us that we're going to have to struggle to reach our dreams and ultimately our destiny. My life has been full of tragedy. I lost my mom a couple months ago. But there's no better way and cure for pain to go help other people with theirs. So, you know, if you listen to Dallin's niece, do you think she would have fought as hard as she did if she didn't go through that struggle? When the doctor told her she couldn't have a baby? Or when they said that you're going to have 2 lungs and a heart? Can you imagine that? She had to go through that struggle to stand up to the fight. The network marketing is not going to be easy, but I can tell you one thing, it's worth it. I've seen 10 people come to Christ since January from our decision in Vasayo. Network marketing has been the most fulfilling thing that my wife and I have ever done. I've been successful on my own, and that was very lonely. It was stressful. There was overhead. There was employees. There was always trying to collect my money at the end of the day. Felt like I was begging. But network marketing, if you go help other people, then you can have everything you want. It's been the best decision, and we have the biggest blessing. It'll be the biggest company that we've ever seen in network marketing. When you're on your deathbed, you're not going to think about what you did. You're going to think about what you didn't do, right? People said we were crazy. We left $15,000 a month, and they said we were crazy. We lost our minds. But just like Rob said, I watched that video, the famous video, and God said one word to me, which is ironic. He said, move and serve my people. So we've been hugely blessed. From that decision now, there's 2,200 people on our team chasing their dreams. There's 500 people in this room chasing their dreams. And get this, the lifestyle this gives you. I used to never take my kids to school. I used to never be able to pick them up like you heard Corbin say. Now I can pick up my kids whenever I want to. I can take them to school whenever I want to. And I don't have to deal with the stress of owning my own business. But also I get to do life every day with my wife instead of coming home very shut off mentally from dealing with the stress of construction. You know, we're all at a different point in life where we have to make a decision. I believe success starts with a simple decision to start running after your dreams, but with the mindset that you're going to have some struggle. And we're standing on this stage because we've been through a lot of struggle and a lot of pain, but now we have been blessed with an amazing group of people that we consider even closer than our own family. I have 4 sisters and brothers, and not one of them is in my business with my success. So the people that care about you the most are going to be the most skeptical, right? So we challenge everyone to go out there and share this gift. Chase your dreams, in your goals, because like that Lego box, it looks very pretty, but it took us 19 years to really realize that our dream was starting to form. And we're going to go out and we're going to bless a lot of lives with this opportunity and these products that are transformers' lives every day on our team. And I challenge every one of you to chase your dreams, even during the struggle. And we also challenge you to go diamond, right? You know, we hear a lot of times, oh, I wish I would have got in when you got in. Right? You heard that one before? Well, Eric got in after us and he went diamond before us. So, I think that kind of debunks the pyramid scheme, right? So it's all about what you decide to do. And I'll leave you with this. Philippians 4:13 says that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. We just want to tell you thank you and God bless.